Welcome to NFL. Close your eyes and let the story begin.
One day, he came to the hostel again and once more began insisting that she go somewhere with him. The two of them were sitting on a bench in the lawn near the hostel gate, talking quietly. Jahanzeb, I already told you before. This isn't right. I can't go around with you like this. Why? What problem do you have now? You won't even be staying in this hostel anymore. We're about to get married. That's exactly why I don't want to wander around with you like this. Don't you trust me? I do trust you, but going out like this still doesn't feel right to me. For a few moments, Jahanzeb sat silently, watching her face. Then he reached out and took Umid's hand. A jolt ran through her. He had never done anything like this before. Instinctively, she pulled her hand away. Jahanzeb, what are you doing? What am I doing? I held your hand. Now don't tell me this is wrong too. There was bitterness in his tone. I'm not that kind of girl, Jahanzeb. Don't start preaching about your purity to me. You've been living in this hostel for 4 or 5 years now. You work with men all day long, and yet you snatched your hand away as if I'd done something outrageous. Who knows how many men must have held your hand where you work? She stared at him in stunned disbelief. Had these words truly come from the man she loved? Her face had gone pale. No man has ever held my hand. I only work with men, and that too because I have no choice but to work. But I am not some shameless girl. I told you not to lecture me about your virtue. I can never believe that a girl who works among men can remain completely respectable. And I'm not here demanding proof of your decency or purity. I don't care what you may or may not have done. I only want this much, that if I hold your hand, you don't pull away. And if I ask you to come somewhere with me, you come without hesitation. As your fiancé, your future husband, I have at least that much right over you. If a girl can shower kindness on the men she works with, then why not on her own fiancé? He spoke fearlessly, looking straight into her eyes, and she kept staring back at him with the same disbelief. You know what kind of family I come from, Jahanzeb. You know how my father raised me. Then why do you doubt me? Why do you think that after coming here I've become this? She asked, deeply hurt. What difference do family or upbringing make? Freedom makes people do many things. I'm no saint myself. Living away from home all these years, I've lived exactly the way I wanted. I've done whatever I wanted. You may have done those things, but I haven't. I'm a Muslim. I have never done anything that would leave me ashamed before you, my family, or Allah. Anything my religion calls a sin, I consider it a sin too, and I have always tried to stay away from it. Religion is outdated. Only hypocrites hide behind it. She could only stare at him. Your thinking is so conservative that you can't survive in today's world. The moral values you cling to in the name of religion died long ago. The most important thing in life is happiness, and a person should do whatever it takes to achieve it rather than surround themselves with walls of religion. I want my wife to possess all the qualities of a liberal, broad-minded woman, because the society I move in demands that kind of woman beside me. Your so-called decency will neither help me nor allow you to walk beside me. Sit here and think about what I've said. I'll come for you again tomorrow at the same time. With those bitter words, he stood up and walked away. You're being foolish. He wants to take you out. Just go with him. Maybe it'll calm his anger and end all this, Akila said that night after listening to everything. The more you avoid him, the angrier he's getting. Obviously, if someone loves a girl, travels all the way from another city just to see her, and she won't even go anywhere with him, he's bound to feel hurt. Helplessly, Umid pressed her hands against her forehead. Umid, when there's love between two people, these pointless stubbornnesses shouldn't exist. Besides, you're marrying him next month anyway. If he wants you to go somewhere with him, what's wrong with that? Every man wants to spend time with his fiancée, to take her out somewhere. But your stubbornness could damage your future. What if, in anger, he refuses to marry you? What will you do then? Please, Akila, don't say that. He loves me very much. We've been engaged for almost 9 years. He can't break it off over something so small. Sometimes relationships break over the smallest things. I love him very much. That's exactly why I'm telling you to listen to him. He just wants to take you out to dinner. Go with him. He'll be happy, and your quarrel will end too. Akila had already lain down to sleep, but Umeed could not sleep at all. Jahanzeb's changed tone had wounded her deeply that day. She had never imagined he could speak to her like that. Didn't he remember how old their bond was? How deeply had they loved each other? Why was he making such a huge issue out of something so ordinary now? Was their relationship truly so fragile that it could break simply because she refused one request? And what was she supposed to do now? Should she go with him? And if she didn't, would he really break the engagement? She remembered the coldness in Jahanzeb's voice. Maybe I should listen to Akila, she thought. Maybe I should go with him just this once. Then I'll tell him not to force me again. Perhaps that will end his anger. Restlessly, she kept searching for a decision. The next afternoon, Jahanzeb called her office. All right, I'll go with you this evening, but don't ever force me to go out with you like this again. There was defeat in her voice. At once, Jahanzeb's mood brightened. All right, Yar, I won't ask again, but at least come with me today. And please, dress up nicely. I want to take you to PC. He went on talking excitedly about God knew what else, while she listened in silence. When the call ended, she lowered the receiver with lifeless hands. That evening, despite the torment of her conscience, she began getting ready. Akila praised her decision. At 7 o'clock, Jahanzeb arrived to pick her up. With heavy steps, she walked out and sat in the front seat beside him. Yar, at least fix your mood now. You look so beautiful, but your face looks utterly miserable. It feels like you're going to a condolence visit with me. The more ashamed and uneasy she felt, the more cheerful and animated he became. Again and again her father's voice echoed in her ears, and she felt as though the noose around her throat was tightening with every passing moment. Jahanzeb took her to PC. Throughout the evening, he kept talking to her, praising her beauty, complimenting her clothes. Yet for the first time, hearing such things from him gave her no happiness. She felt as though everyone seated there was looking at her with accusing eyes, as though they were laughing among themselves and saying, "Look, another shameless girl roaming around with her lover." At 8 o'clock, sitting inside the PC, she felt as though she were trapped inside a death cell. If Daddy were alive today, would I still have had the courage to deceive everyone and sit here with this man? That thought filled her throat with thorns as she tried to eat. At 9, after dinner at PC, Jahanzeb took her to an ice cream parlor for ice cream. After that, he began driving aimlessly through the city streets. Jahanzeb, please take me back to the hostel now. If it gets past 11, they won't let me in. You don't need to worry. I'll speak to the hostel administration myself. He seemed completely absorbed in his own happiness. Haven't we had enough fun already? Wandering around like this now is pointless. Please drop me back. There was irritation in her voice. They were driving through the cantonment roads. Yar, you're worrying for no reason. I told you, I'll drop you back. Turning up the volume of the stereo, he silenced her concerns. She fell quiet. He kept talking to her, and while talking, he pulled the car over onto the side of a deserted, dimly lit road in the cantonment area. Umeed felt the pressure of his hand on her shoulder. A wave of fear surged through her. Jahanzeb, why did you stop the car here? She asked, trying desperately to keep her voice normal. Jahanzeb was taking a can out of the glove compartment in the dashboard. One arm still rested across her shoulder. For a moment, he removed it to open the can, then casually draped it around her again. Jahanzeb, let's go from here. It's getting late. She could feel herself trembling. Calmly sipping from the can, he looked at her with a smile. At least tonight, I have no intention of dropping you off. She could not speak. Here, have a drink too. Still perfectly at ease, he lifted the can toward her lips. With one hand, she pushed it away from her face. Jahanzeb, take me back right now. This time her voice rose sharply. I already told you, I'm not taking you back tonight. From here, you're coming with me to the hotel where I'm staying. Tomorrow, I'll drop you off. He explained his plans as calmly as if he were discussing the weather. Have you lost your mind? I will never go anywhere with you. Suddenly, she shoved his arm off her shoulder. You already came with me. If you don't want to go to the hotel, fine. We'll stay here. He continued drinking from the can. For a few helpless moments, she stared at him, then abruptly opened the car door and tried to get out. With lightning speed, Jahanzeb yanked her back inside. The door slammed shut just as violently, and then he struck her hard across the face. There's no need to create drama. If you try anything with me, I'll scream. Then scream, he growled. Scream your lungs out. I want to see what you can do. Once again, she tried to get out of the car. Jahanzeb placed one hand against the door handle on her side and started the car. Now what will you do? Jump out of a moving car?